Hey, I had another video on this whole situation from another angle, all mapped out, ready to go. But then Morel Lewis from Club Atlantis provided me with some late breaking news. And that late breaking news was that TJ Holmes finally has officially filed for divorce from his wife, Marilee Figby. And that is late breaking considering, the soft diss that she sent to Amy Robach. And I'm going to have a little opinion on that in a second. Talking about she prefers colors over white lights. And you can see my previous video for that one. But you know what? At least he is filing for divorce. That's still not cool what he did, him and Amy Robach did to their spouses, which, by the way, that leads me into the original premise of this. Here did we see the two at the airport getting ready to go on holiday for the Christmas holiday, which is nice. But they're doing that with each other rather than with their families. Now, I'm of two minds of this. One is from me and one is from another member of Club Atlantis, Regina Huff, the Nature Girl 30. My opinion is like, okay, it's one thing to skip out on your spouses, because we already know y'all getting butt naked and doing the do. But it's another thing, y'all got kids. And in the case of TJ Holmes, he's got a very young daughter right now. And I'm like, nah, you don't do that to your kids. The adults, it's not right what they do to the spouses, although I don't think their hands are clean either. But it's one thing to do that to adults. You don't do that to kids. But Regina's mindset, and I hope I'm saying this right, is basically like, well, with all the drama they've caused, what makes you think they would even be welcome at their respective houses right now? Well, she's not wrong. I mean, it's probably they probably are banished from each other's houses, and that wouldn't shock me either. And I can't believe personally that this story is still a thing weeks after, but it's like the gift that keeps on giving. This is probably the most attention, probably not attention that they want. It's probably the most attention that ABC has gotten in a long time. And speaking of which, I got something to say on the soft diss that Marilee threw at Amy Robach. I mean, I said it in my previous video, but I'm going to repeat it again and point out something else that I may not have pointed out in that video. She threw that soft diss at Amy Robach, yet when it came to Natalie Singh, who you see here pictured on the right, yeah, she confronted her husband and shut down the affair, but she did that off camera. We never even knew about it until this whole thing with Amy Robach went down. We never knew about it. And he was blowing Miss Singh's back out for about 3 years, if I remember correctly, until the wife found out. And to me, and I said this in the previous video, I'll say it again. To me, she doesn't deserve no pats on the back. You know why? Because she had every opportunity at that time to leave her husband or to just let him go. And she refused to. Now, a lot of people, especially, I'm going to talk black community particularly, but a lot of people in all communities, especially in America, they view divorce as defeat. They view it as failure. That's why there's some people that will stubbornly not refuse. Now, it's one thing if you're trying to work on the marriage and both partners are really trying to fix the marriage. It's another thing when one person is trying to fix the marriage, but the other one, even though they go through the motions, in reality, they don't want to be there. TJ has pretty much gave clear signals he don't want to be there. He might very well love his kids. He might love his children, but he don't love you. And obviously he's into Amy. And I said this in the previous recording before I had to add in that new story in on TJ Holmes to go to Chili's response Chili from TLC, which I'm still amazed he actually hit that. But to her response, he may not be packing like you like, but he must be doing something right. I mean, Amy and Natalie Singh, those are the women we know about. One thing for sure, that man ain't lacking for, shall we say, kitty cat action. And as for Amy, that woman must got skill like Brandy Love or Nina Hartley or something, because my goodness. I mean, he is all but put the big black stamp on that little white athletic behind. And you know, I give credit where it's due. I mean, she ain't got no badonkadonk, on, but it ain't like completely flat. She got one of them. If you ever go to the gym and stuff, she got one of them little. I know this is terrible for me to be saying, but she got one of them little athletic butts. Well, she is a runner, and she does work out religiously. So you know, she must be doing something right. And the two might very well like each other, but I think it's more lust. In just speaking as an outsider without knowing either one of these folks, I think it's more lust than true love. And for them to do this, especially public, that leads me to another thing. Yeah, they got sloppy in how they was being undercover lovers. They got sloppy, but it was Meryl Lee, as we are now finding out, and that's something else I found out recently. Meryl Lee is the one that busted TJ Holmes publicly, because she had a private detective following Amy and TJ around, and he's the one that got the goods and put it out to the Daily Mail and all these other tabloids, as well as the infamous butt grab. Well, it wasn't really a grab. It was more like he was just copping a feel like he was walking by. And Amy didn't mind at all. And that sent a loud signal like, he done claimed that, because no woman, and I said this in one of my earlier videos about this situation, no woman is gonna let another man pat them, feel, or grab their butt unless he is hitting it, or unless she's giving the clear signal he can have it. So that just, if you was down like, oh, well, they was at the bar. Oh, they was just at the bar as friends. Oh, they're just workout buddies. Oh, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't cheating on their spouses. Then you see this. No. Like I said, no woman is gonna let another man that isn't their husband or boyfriend feel or grab their booty unless he's already pounding that into oblivion. Or at the very least, she's letting him silently know he can get it. And this picture here with Robin Roberts during better times between her and Amy Robach, apparently the two had become good friends, but during this whole situation, Amy and TJ threw Robin Roberts under the bus when Robin Roberts, becoming suspicious about them, gave them the heads up about management. Basically, in turn, the scandalous duo basically threw Robin Roberts under the bus. And she did not appreciate that. Of course, there's always, because, there's little jokes about, maybe Robin Roberts mad because, maybe she wanted a little closer relationship with Amy Robach. Now, as far as we know, she don't play for that team, but we know Robin Roberts does. I'm just going to chalk that one up to rumor. But the whole backstabbing thing, no, that's a fact. And ABC, they are a parent company under Disney. And Disney's always put out that family-friendly image. Even though we know with a lot of these companies, that's a bunch of BS. They just want you to watch their shows and buy their products. Because a lot of these companies are not squeaky clean when it comes down to it. And as I alluded to in one of my other earlier videos. I alluded to this. In the media particularly, stuff like this goes on all the time. Now, is it right? No. Personally, no. I've always preached, don't get your booty where you make your booty. And if you do, you better be very, very careful and think about it. Is this person worth risking messing up your bag? Think about that. But I would say if I could talk to Miss Marilee, depending on the situation, I would say cut your losses. Cut your losses. If this man wants a divorce, let him go. Let him go. Yeah, it will hurt in the beginning. It'll probably hurt for a while. But in the long run, you will be better off. And don't worry about her because, as they say, how you get them is usually how you lose them. And trust me, Amy and TJ have their come up that's coming. But right now, you need to think about your own happiness. Let him go. And that's just my personal opinion because I don't know the ins and outs of the situation. But all I got to say is these two are in lust. But when that lust starts to fade a little bit, we'll really see what they're really about. Because let me tell you something. ABC and Good Morning America, they might like the ratings that are being generated by this scandal, but they don't like that image. They are coming for those jobs. And when they come for that jobs and them bags, we'll see how in love Amy and TJ really are with each other. And of course, like I said, TJ, he probably been banging Amy even longer than we are aware of. And who knows who else he done had while he been married to Marilee. So I would say, once again, ending this video, Marilee, just cut your losses, let it go. Because if you hold on to this marriage just out of pride or try to fight out of pride, you're just going to be doing your family, your daughter, and yourself more damage. At least psychologically and at least in the soul, man. Just let him on go. It ain't worth it. I mean, we seen what's happened with Will Smith being one example. When you hang on to a toxic marriage and a toxic relationship, don't do that to yourself, ma'am. Anyway, I'm out.